In my opinion, database transactions is an overlooked topic when it comes to the query builder. It isn't only a thing in Laravel, but it is a thing in any other language or framework too. Database transactions are a way of ensuring data consistency and integrity in your application. It basically allows you to ensure that a series of database operations are performed as a single unit of work. This can be useful in situations where you need to perform multiple database operations together and want to ensure that they are all succeeded or failed as a single unit. Let's talk about a use case of a database transaction I recently had. In a previous application I developed, a user needed to complete multiple steps in a form submission, and each step involves writing to the database. The user has to create a new account on the website, and the account creation process involves creating a user record, creating a billing record, and creating a shipping address record. If any of these steps failed, the database would be in inconsistent state. By using a database transaction, you can pretty much ensure that all three steps are either successful or failed together, which then maintains the consistency of the database. Now I know that database transactions can be difficult when you start with it first. So let's think about an example inside our application. We don't have that much data to work with, but this will be a simple tutorial about transactions so you get a better understanding of it. What I want to do right now is adding a new column to our users table which will indicate the user's balance. Whenever user 1 will send money to user 2, we basically have to decrease the balance of user 1 and increase the balance of user 2 in one single query. We don't have that much data inside our tables, so we can modify the user's migration. And let's actually do that. Let's open our database directory, migrations, and let's open the user migration. Now, quick note, this isn't the best working example, but it is the best way to showcase the database transaction. So right below our password column, we're going to define a new column through our table object, where the data type will be a decimal, the column name will be balance, and we're going to chain the nullable method to it as well. Now let's modify the user factory that Laravel has created for us as well. So let me actually make it a little bit bigger. We have our factory, user factory. We're going to add a new key value pair right under our password, where the key will be balance, while the value will come from our fake class, where we're going to chain the random float method to it. Alright, now I want to make a quick change inside my post factory as well, because now that we have worked with the query builder, we could replace the value of our user ID with a query to the user's table. So let's say db, pull it in, table will be users, and on the line below we're going to chain the in random order method to it, where we will retrieve a random user every time. So what we need to do right here to get the ID is chain the value method to it and get the ID column. Now let's navigate back to iTerm and let's run the php artisan migrate refresh command. Alright, now let's run php artisan tinker, where we could create a new user by saying user : factory. We're going to get 20 users and we're going to create it. Alright, you can see that we're getting an error message because the numeric value is out of range. So let's actually navigate back to PHP Storm and let's replace the random float method with a number between method, where we could pass in two integer value, the minimum and the maximum. So let's say 100 and 100,000. If we then navigate back to iTerm, perform an exit, perform the php artisan tinker command again, then hit the arrow up twice to create 20 new users, you'll see that we have created 20 new users. Then we need to create posts as well, so let's call the post model, chain the factory method, we're going to create 50 posts, and we're going to chain the create method to it. Another typo, excuse me. Alright. Now let's focus on our first transaction inside our controller. So let's open our post controller, and let me actually close off the factories. And we're going to work inside the index method, and let's get rid of everything that we have and let's start over. To use transactions in Laravel, you need to wrap your queries inside a db : transaction method, which requires a callback function inside of it. So let's pass that in. And this code right here will start a new transaction. Now let's add our example right here. Since we need to define a query for the users table where one specific user's balance needs to be decreased, while the second query needs to increase the balance of the user that is receiving the funds. So let's do that. Let's say db : table, the table will be users. Then we're going to chain the where method to it because we're going to decrease the funds where the ID is equal to 1. And then we're going to chain the decrement method to it because we're going to decrease the balance by 20. Then we need to make sure that we create another query by saying db : table. The table will be users. We're going to add a where clause right here where the ID is equal to 2. And we're also going to add the increment method right here where the balance needs to increase with 20 as well. Quick summary of what we have been doing right here. We are using the db : transaction method to wrap our database operations. We first deduct funds from user 1 and then add funds to user 2. Now let's see how this works inside a database. Let's open the users table. Now let's scroll to our balance column. Alright, right here. Behind the scenes, I've just refreshed the browser, and if I refresh the column, you will see that ID number 2 has increased the balance, while for user number 1, the balance has been decreased.